I can confidently say that right now, Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon are not only the best players in the NHL, but they are two of the best players in the entire world. And they went head to head last night. If you're a hockey fan, you were in for a real treat last night. Even though it wasn't a high-scoring game, it was an intense game that saw two of the best players showcasing their skills in the biggest stage, which of course is Hockey Night in Canada. This is going to be a shorter video, but this is something I had to talk about. Both players are having yet again monster years. Connor McDavid coming off a historic season that saw him racking up 153 points. The last time any player reached that feat was almost 30 years ago when Super Mario did it way back in 95-96, accumulating 161 points in 70 games played. But that was last season. This season has been a little different. This season, McDavid had the slowest start offensively in his entire career. But since then,
around, tuck it home on the backhand side, and tie the game. What a response. And he allowed his team to stabilize. Here's McDavid, beautiful spin.
As for Nathan MacKinnon, you can say he's been in the conversation for quite some time now. But as far as stats go, this is easily MacKinnon's best season. He still has 14 games to play, and he already has a career high for points and assists in a single season. And his 42-goal campaign that he has right now ties his previous career high, which he will most certainly break. Yeah guys, so essentially in this video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on who I think should win the Hart Trophy this season. As always guys, drop a comment down below as I read every single one. Thanks for all the continued support, and for the love of God, do not leave a like in this video. Don't do it. And with that out of the way, let's hop right back into this video. Right on, like I said, Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon are just the best players in the world. If you don't think they are the best players in the world, these are the two players I have. It's going to be Connor McDavid or Nathan MacKinnon winning the Hart. A lot of people, Nikita Kucherov having a hell of a season. He was first in league scoring for the majority of the season until Nathan MacKinnon caught up just like less than a month ago now. Obviously, we all know what Austin Matthews is doing. He has since slowed down, scoring 3 goals in his last 9 games. So if he were to get 70 goals, I think that would have been the lock for getting the Hart. But I don't think he's getting the Hart. He's going to score 60 goals this season. That's kind of, we're getting used to that. He's going to win the Rocket for sure. But, 60 goals, when he did it a few seasons back, it was Austin Matthews scored 60 goals. He's winning the Hart. David Pastrnak did it last season. Connor McDavid did as well. So it's kind of like, 60 goals, whatever. It's been done recently. So I don't think the voters are going to look at that as much as they did a few years ago. So that's why I think it's more so between Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. And the finalists, it's probably going to be Austin Matthews or Nikita Kucherov, one of those two. But it's either going to be, it's close. It's between Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. That's it. Okay, and I got arguing points for both players. Let's first take a look at Connor McDavid, and then we'll go into Nathan MacKinnon. And I'll give you my thoughts on who I think should win the Hart Trophy at the end of this video, so stay till that. And as always, drop a comment down below. Who do you think should win the Hart? Is it Connor McDavid, Nathan MacKinnon? Do you think Austin Matthews should win it? Drop a comment down below. I read every single one. Okay, so my first arguing point for Connor McDavid. He started slow, but he willed his way back into top 10 scoring in 1 week. It was something. He was almost like, he was like 90th in league scoring, and I'll find the stat, I'll put it up on the video for you guys. But to start the season, this was the slowest start he's ever had, and all that transpired at the beginning of the season. I think voters are really going to look like, okay, yeah, Connor McDavid, he did not do good the start of the season. He didn't, but he willed his way back in. There was talks about him being maybe injured at the beginning of the season, and that could be. That's what everyone was saying. So I'm gonna go with that. Maybe that's why he was injured. But the Oilers were tied for last. So they at one point in the season they were tied for last in the entire NHL, and now they're top 10 team. They're tied right now with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So if you're a voter, you could really look at that and be like, okay, like he is the most valuable player to his team. There is the season where he led the league in scoring, but Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers did not make the playoffs. So you could say like, yeah, he willed his team into a playoff spot. And, there's more pieces, but I mean, he's the driving force for the Edmonton Oilers. It's no secret. So that's a really good arguing point. I think a lot of writers or voters are going to look at that and be like, okay, this team just was nothing. And then they went from being nothing to a top 10 team. Since November something, the Oilers have been the best team in the entire NHL. So I think a lot of voters are going to look at that aspect. So there's that. And yeah, I have written down here, he also willed his team from last to top 10. So I was just talking about that, but just the way he just, it was like this. He's like, okay, like, it was kind of like a Michael Jordan moment. Like, I took that personally. And then just like that, I remember it was a 5-point game against the Washington Capitals. The Oilers shut the Capitals out. That was a TSN turning point of the season for Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, another arguing point, like, it seems to be the case, like last year, it hasn't 150 points, like I said, hasn't been done since Mario Lemieux in 95-96, right? That's a huge headline. That's a huge storyline. The writers, the voters, they're gonna look at that and be like, wow, like, this hasn't been done in forever. Yeah, it's gonna be easy. McDavid's a unanimous Hart Trophy winner, even though he wasn't unanimous, but he should have been, right? That never happened. So, or it hasn't happened in almost 30 years. So they like their stories, right? And then with Austin Matthews getting the 60 goals, that hadn't been done in quite some time. The only way, and I'm saying this right now, I guess I'm giving my pick, but the only way I really think that Connor McDavid wins the Hart is if he gets 100 assists. And that's only been done by 3 players before, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux, and Wayne Gretzky. You might have heard of those 3. Well, Connor McDavid could be the 4th player to ever do it. And if he does, I think that's the lock. If he does that, as well as catching Nathan MacKinnon in the Art Ross, I think it's another added to the list of accolades that he continues to just rack up. It's super impressive. So that's really the only thing I think is if Connor McDavid gets 100 assists, look, only 3 players, and I did a video about this just on what's more impressive, 100 assists in a season or 70 plus goals. If you want, I'll put a link in the description, because that video, it was a really good video, but it kind of tanked. But yeah, definitely go check that out. I go way more in depth on just how impressive 100 assists actually is in a season. So Connor McDavid, those are my arguing points for you. I think he's going to finish second if he doesn't finish first. That's just my opinion. And like I said, drop a comment down below. Now let's go to Nathan MacKinnon. Let's shift gears into right now. I think, man, just just watching him play, he elevates his game just every single year. You're just like, wow, how hasn't this guy won the Hart? And I talked about it. He probably should have won it the year that Taylor Hall did, but it's it's the most valuable person to their team, right? And so you could say Halsey, he didn't really have anyone, and that was the year where he got that 20-game point scoring streak that he had. So, that was probably the reason why. But Nathan MacKinnon, he wants it more. I really do think, you hear all these players say, I don't really care about the individual awards, but you can't help but think that they just say that, right? It would be nice. You look back in your career and you're like, oh yeah, I was the league's MVP. Obviously, you're going to be like, that's pretty sweet. You can tell your kid that, and obviously I think Nathan MacKinnon, he wants it, and he does want it a lot more. McDavid's more so focused on just going into the playoffs, and just that's his focus. But I think MacKinnon, as well as winning, and they've been winning a lot, I really think he does want this, and I think that's why he's just having the best year of his career. He wants it a lot more. He's getting more looks than Connor McDavid. He's got more goals than Connor McDavid by almost double. It's crazy. And man, just watching Nathan MacKinnon shoot is a treat. If you're a hockey fan, his snapshot, I don't think, and this might be a hot take, he's right up there with Patrick Laine, but it's a right-handed thing. I swear. And I was just, someone texted me this and says it's because righties do it because even though lefties shoot left, their right hand is still their dominant hand. And so when righties do their snapshot, they get a lot more torque, and it's because they are a right-handed shooter. So that's why, if I can find the study, I'll put that in the link in the description as well, because it was a fascinating read. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because when you think of it, the Patrick Laines, the Alexander Ovechkins, the Nathan MacKinnons, you can even say Tage Thompson does it, those quick releases. But Nathan MacKinnon, like I said, the Oilers Avalanche, they played last night. There was one shot, Nathan MacKinnon just... It's so impressive. Not to mention his home scoring streak. Nathan MacKinnon extended his home point streak to 32 games, a feat that hasn't been seen in 35 years. So, like I said, those headlines, those stories, that's something voters could look at and be like, okay, well, this hasn't been done in 35 years, so it's even more impressive. The fact that that hasn't been done in 35 years, no, not even McDavid did that, like it's not even Crosby. Nathan MacKinnon's doing it, and it's still active. The streak's still active. It could go to 40 games maybe. So really, really impressive. And like I said, the voters, they like those headlines. They like those stories. They could look at that and be like, oh, that's a good point. Well, he won a few votes over for me for mentioning that. And one thing, like I mentioned with Connor McDavid, it's a season award. It's all season long, right? You could look at it and be like, okay, yeah, McDavid had a terrible start to the season, so that, but he did will him and his team back into the conversation. So you could look at it like that's impressive, but then you could also look at it and be like, okay, well, he sucked at the beginning. But Nathan MacKinnon, he's been doing this all season long. He hasn't taken his foot off the pedal. It's been all season long, and it's going to be all season long. I honestly, when it comes to March and the last few games, the players, the McKinnons, the McDavids, they show up way more. So I think he's probably going to boost it up a little bit more even. But that's one thing you can look at for McKinnon's side and be like, hey, yeah, he's been the more consistent player all season long. And with Nathan MacKinnon, I mean, he will do everything for his team to win. He'll lay his body on the line. He'll drop the gloves. He plays physical, and that's something you can't really say for McDavid. He does almost everything for his team. If it's the Stanley Cup final, he probably will do. But that's what I'm saying. With Nathan MacKinnon, you get a little bit more to him, a little bit more to his game. It's the all-rounded. I think Nathan MacKinnon's a better defensive player, so that's something I'd look at. I really think as far as McDavid's the more skilled player, I'd pick him over MacKinnon, but as far as everything, you get everything with MacKinnon, not so much McDavid. So is that a hot take? Drop a comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Like I said, he will do everything for his team to win, and I mean everything. Even if there's 0.5 seconds left on the clock in overtime. Yeah, so that's all I got for this video. I said it was going to be a short video. I'm looking at it. It's still pretty long. So drop a comment down below, guys. I read every single one. You guys have been absolutely crushing it lately. It's pretty cool to see. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty sweet. So keep doing it up, guys. I really appreciate it. Can't tell you how much more I enjoy uploading videos to an actual audience. Before it wasn't the case at all, right? So it's really cool. I'm so thankful for it. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna keep pumping out these videos for you guys. So really appreciate it. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, I could have stayed home and edited this video today, and I put on the community tab on YouTube. I won't get it done today because I'm gonna go get shit-faced. So yeah, I got some beers waiting for me. Enjoy your St. Paddy's Day if you're celebrating. Drink responsibly as always, and but have fun. Try and have as much fun as possible. Take her easy, guys. I'll see you in the next upload. I'll have one probably on Thursday. I think that's what I'm trying to do here. Sundays, maybe every now and then, like a Monday video I might do. That seems to be when my viewers are on the most. So Sundays, every now and then a Monday, but for sure Thursdays, Sundays, and Thursdays. You can look forward to videos here on Above Average. If you're not subscribed, we're on the chase to 5K, baby. So let's do it. Don't be average when you can be above average, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.